Okay, so we're here once again in Sword Factory X, and for this video we're going to basically be covering what a quad stack or a quad wave is, as well as just a quad spawn overall. So for a quad spawn, basically you might have seen it in a previous video, but as you can see there is 4 different luck options over here on this boss spawn board: 10 times, 40 times, 160 times and 640 times. And basically a quad spawn is when all of these different luck options basically happen all at once. So as you can see on the far right hand side, they all have a number next to them, and basically that shows how many spawns it's going to be until that specific luck happens. So as you can see with this one that says 0, this next spawn that happens in literally 0 seconds is going to have that nice little 10 times luck boost on it. And basically if all of these reach 0 at the exact same time, that is basically a quad spawn. And for a quad spawn to happen, it's basically every 1872 spawns. Now this is basically just for one server, so as you can see this little board here is specific to this one server only and does not affect any other server whatsoever, just the server that you are currently in. However, when it comes to quad waves and quad stacks, basically this board doesn't really matter too much, because this is when the developers and the owners actually decide to basically force a quad spawn to happen in every single server at the exact same time. So obviously for a quad stack it's basically just a quad spawn, but it just happens in every single server. Doesn't matter what server you're in, it can be a VIP server and it can be a public server as well. But basically you don't need to wait around for a quad spawn to happen, because obviously quad spawns happen more or less every 9 hours. However, when it comes to a quad stack or a quad wave, basically it happens whenever the developers decide it happens. And how you can actually keep up with this is basically one thing, they'll either put it up in the chat. Obviously as you can see here right now, there's all these different like sort of things that people are getting. However, every now and again in like red text usually, you might see someone like Ederites just put in chat that basically there's going to be a quad spawn happening. And that's also what they do for maybe like when updates are coming out and stuff like that as well sometimes. So basically that's one way you can keep out for it. And another way is basically in the Discord server. Now obviously the owners are pretty active in the Discord server, so you do want to be kind of keeping out an eye on that as well in the lobby, as well as the announcements as well. Now usually they will put it in the announcements, but sometimes they don't exactly at everyone, so you might not get a ping or a notification about it. You just have to keep your eye out in the announcements and as well as the lobby. But yeah, basically when they decide to do a quad stack or a quad spawn, you could have literally a random set of numbers here. You can see basically mine right now are 4, 12, 6 and 16, which means that there's no chance for quad spawn happening anytime soon basically. But still they could force the quad spawn to happen in every single server. So basically what you can do is just go ahead and join your VIP server, and literally you could be literally on one spawn instead of obviously the 1872. And if they decide to do the quad spawn or the quad stack or the quad wave, basically then you're going to go ahead and get a quad spawn without having to wait around, which is really good. So that's basically what a quad wave and a quad stack is. Hopefully it does help some people out. If you do have any more questions, let me know down in the comments and I will answer them the best I can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.